and we're on Zoom, and we're back on YouTube, and you can check us out on Spotify or just Google the First Inning Radio Show, and you'll find it on a platform that you can listen to it on. And I'm the BX Bomber 2011. You can find me on all social media, and I'm along with Roger, the big Yankee fan. Say hello, Roger.
Hello, good evening, BX Bomber. We are recording on Thursday, May 28th. And unfortunately for the United States, the death toll has risen over 100,000 confirmed deaths for the
Yeah.
coronavirus situation. Rather bad. But some more news has taken place as far as a possible season. And right now, a lot of people are being rather pessimistic, even though I'm still being optimistic.
Yeah, well, here's the good thing. The NHL is starting back up. Their season ended, but they're going to start with the playoffs. So they're going to have 12 teams play in the playoffs. That should be starting pretty soon, in a few weeks or so. I don't know. And basketball is coming back for some reason too. They're going to play in Orlando Studios or something like that. So we got
Oh, yes, and
basketball, so baseball has a good chance. But here's the problem. It looks like players don't want to play, man. They don't want to take the pay cut. I just seen a thing from Matt Scherzer, and he said players won't take the pay cut. So it doesn't look good, man, for baseball. How you feel?
well, yes. What is happening is the players say they still have some issues as far as the protection are concerned, the health protections. They still have a lot of issues as far as health protections are concerned. And the way it is set up now is the owners want the players with the largest salaries to take large pay cuts. And for example, Garrett Cole, who would be making $36 million this year, they would expect his pay cut to take his salary below 40%, or maybe as low as 20%, meaning that instead of him making $36 million, he would make about $8 or $9 million instead. And but for the players that are more towards the league minimum, they would not take as an extreme pay cut, where they would still get the majority of their salaries. But they want the players with the larger salaries to take a large amount of pay cuts, and which would take their percentages down as low as 20% of what their original salary was. So the players are not very happy about this at all, and they may come back with a counter offer that I heard about, and I'll tell you about that in a minute too. But as of right now, a lot of people are feeling rather pessimistic, and as you said, Max Scherzer is not on board with this at all.
Okay, here's my thing. Let's say we give this proposal. How about we say for this year, the players will play for the players will play for half the salary, right? But here's the catch. This year you'll play for half your salary, but when your contract is over, you will be paid that other half for this season. Guaranteed. At the contract's end.
Yeah, that set onto the back of the contract,
Yeah,
where
I think I think they can do something like that. Or you play for half your salary, and we'll say we gave you a contract for, let's say, $10 million a year, right? We'll pay you $11 million so you can get that money back that you lost. You know what I mean? Until that's over, until we pay you in full,
yeah,
then you go back to your normal $10 million. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that.
yes, I do. Yes,
I
I
think
do.
that would be better, and it'll be guaranteed money. Let's say guaranteed, that money will be guaranteed to you no matter what. I think they could do that. And here's a question. If we don't have an MLB season this year, who do you think deserves the blame for all this stuff? The Players
Well, I
Association,
tend to.
Robert Manfred, or just no one? Coronavirus.
I would say. I would say that. Well, first of all, the pandemic and the virus is a very, very serious situation. That's number one. Number two is a lot of people tend to blame the players. I don't necessarily do that. The players are the league. I mean, without the players, there is no Major League Baseball. There is no teams playing or anything. No one
Right,
is going to the stadium to watch the owner sit in his office at the stadium wearing a suit.
right.
And the players, sure, they make a lot of money, but baseball is a 11 to 12 billion dollar industry every year.
It
Now, what
is.
I believe the owners should do, which they are refusing to do, what they should do, what they are refusing to do, the owners, is they should open up their books to show what is on their ledger as far as what they claim to be losing quite a bit, but we would have to see what the owners are actually losing. Don't necessarily blame the players. The players are multimillionaires, yes, but the owners are billionaires.
So you're saying you're blaming the owners.
As of this point, I'm not going. I would say it would just be a black eye for baseball in general, because the owners are billionaires, the players are millionaires, and but I tend to be more with labor than I do with
Right.
management. And the players make their money, but I believe that the owners should open up their books to show just what they are losing or why they cannot afford to pay the players their prorated salary.
Right.
And what they have to open up their books and show why it would be not possible for them to pay their prorated salary for half a season.
It's just that I just don't really understand where is that money going to that they're asking for. I really don't get it. You need the ground crew. That's one thing because people don't really understand the ground crew doesn't only clean the field. They clean the entire stadium as well. They clean the outside and inside. And
Right.
yeah, and they have to do all that. So and you're gonna need security,
Yes.
a little bit of security and your normal staff and stuff like that. So it's nothing really extra you're asking for, in my
Right.
opinion. I mean, what extra you gonna get? A bus? What you gonna rent out a bus to bring players back and forth? How much does that cost? I mean, come on, that's pennies compared to what the millions they have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't get it, man. Yeah, in my opinion, they should just be like, listen, they could pay for half the money and get it at the end of the contract or during your contract and get paid until we pay you. If you move to another team or whatever next year or whatever, you're still gonna get paid that money, type of thing. So I don't see what's the big deal. But I don't think there's gonna be what's the deadline on this thing?
See, that's the thing. There is no deadline really, but it's just a matter of the calendar. I mean, they can continue negotiating right into June, but eventually they're going to run out of time to have a season.
So it's about the weather, pretty much. It's about the summertime. We're losing daylight. Daylight's burning,
Right.
right?
Right. It is a matter of that's why I say, as you were just saying there, that's why I think the owners should open up their books and show their accounting, what they are spending money on. As you were speculating and wondering, the players are also wondering too. So
Right.
therefore, the players are asking about uh, about getting prorated salary for half a season. The players are going to come back with a counter offer where they are going to get a prorated salary and play a 100 game schedule, going into October instead.
Right.
And they are going to counter the owners as of this point in time, probably by tomorrow. They should be countering them, and the owners should open up their books and show their spreadsheet, show what they are spending money on. I mean, they were laying a lot of office people off. They were laying a lot of minor league people off. So they have to open up
Yeah.
and also explain themselves as well. They want the players to take this cut, but how much of a cut are the owners taking?
Right. What are their salaries? I know they guys making big bucks too. How come
Oh,
they're getting away with it too? That's the whole thing. But my thing is like, okay, let's say the season starts, right? You're paying for the Yankees to be there for only like 2 weeks out of the whole month, right? Because they got to go to other stadiums. So they're only going to be
mm,
there a total of, let's say they play July and August and September, right? That's a total of,
mm,
let's say, two, four, let's say 8 weeks somehow, or let's say 7 weeks. Let's say some ballpark like that, that they're going to play at Yankee Stadium every other week or on and off, whatever it is. You know what I mean? How much is that going to
yeah,
cost? You know?
exactly,
You're not really
exactly.
paying for a whole season. You're not paying for a full staff stadium, you know? I mean, and technically you don't even really need that much security because once they get in the stadium, they're safe, aren't they? You
Right,
don't
and
need
for a good portion of it, there's going to be fans there.
well, they say there's gonna be no fans, right? So
That's what I said. For a good portion of it, there won't be any fans there. There will
right,
not be any fans there.
right. So if you think about it, once they drive in the stadium, they're free to roam around, right? Because security is gonna be at the exit, right? So what are you paying for? I don't get it. To close down the streets like they normally do? That doesn't
Right.
cost
Mm,
anything, compared to the millions of dollars that they're making. So let's say this whole thing costs maximum $2 million to do that. How explain to me how every player on the Yankee has to give up half their salary to pay for $2 million worth of whatever you have to do to get the game playing.
exactly
Where
as I said.
you know what I mean? Where is the other $100 million going? Right?
It's going towards the payment on the guy's mansion.
Where is the other 100 million? You're paying 2 million. Okay, let's say 5 million. Let's say it takes $10 million to get it done. Let's say it takes $10 million. And these guys like Garrett Cole is making 20 million, Aaron Judge making 20 million. These guys are in the teens and millions. And you're gonna collect close to $100 million from all these players. So you're paying 10 million, let's say. Where is that other 90 million going to?
It's going into their pockets.
Where is it going? It has to be.
It has to be going into their pockets. Exactly. So that's why I'm saying that, we don't necessarily blame the players. Uh,
Well, you're
we,
breaking up there. You got to say it over again.
fans have a tendency to do that.
Hold on a minute. Say it over.
Players are the players are
Say it over. You're breaking up. You
okay.
were breaking up there. Say it over what you was just saying.
Okay, what I was saying is the fans tend to blame the players, but I don't necessarily do that because the players are the league. The players are Major League Baseball, and they are labor, and they are the ones that are responsible for the games being played. So I don't necessarily, I tend to be with labor,
Right.
and I don't necessarily blame the players like many people do. But that's why I want management to open up their books and show exactly how much of a haircut they would be taking.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Where is this all going to? It's like, I don't, man. Um, so it's like you're gonna end the season just because of that?
Well, it would be a major black eye for Major League Baseball, and at the end of 2021, they're going to have to renegotiate because the contract will be up. So this could be a major black eye for baseball. I mean, you think of all of the people that are suffering from the pandemic far worse than Major League Baseball, and they will all see it. The average people will see it as millionaires fighting with billionaires. and it will just look
Yeah.
very bad for Major League Baseball.
I'll tell you one thing. I believe ticket sales are gonna go down next year.
That's a possibility. Yeah,
And
I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure ticket prices will go down too. Ticket prices are gonna go down. They're gonna find a way to get these people back in the
right,
stadium. They're gonna practically try to give these tickets away for free, and get you in there to buy beer and food.
right,
That's how they make their money in reality. The beer and the
right,
food, you know, and the
exactly.
souvenirs. So, we'll be in Yankee Stadium. Trust me when I tell you, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. You know.
And we might be able to do some social distancing because the stadium will be so empty, that we'll be able to sit in a row for ourselves.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's say like 2019, most of the majority of the games weren't packed. Um,
Right,
only high level games were packed, like Boston Red Sox, the Astros, them type of games were packed, of course. The Mets, those are sold out games. But other than that, when they play a crappy team, the stadium's empty, and Saturday and Sundays is pretty empty too,
it can
so.
be. It can be, yes. And I do have an article about the 2020 season could not be the only season that the Yankees lose. And it's an article from Fansided, Pinstripe Alley. Would you like me to go through it? It'll take about
Yeah,
2 minutes.
let's hear it.
Uh, okay. The 2020 season has yet to start, and it's about to be June. And many don't think it'll be played at all. However, it's not the only season in jeopardy. The New York Yankees were set to enter the 2020 season as the favorites in the American League, and were also going to be one of the top two teams favored to win the World Series. Now it is almost June, and there isn't a start date in sight for the 2020 season. Due to the owner's proposed pay cuts and the players'
Breaking up.
unwillingness to accept them, which their plan that has been agreed upon between the two.
You
This
gotta say
impacts
that
the
spot
MLB
over.
far beyond this season.
You
Okay, I'm
gotta,
sorry, I'm breaking up.
yeah.
Due to the owner's proposed pay cuts and the players' unwillingness to accept them, which they're justified to deny them, there has yet to be a return to play plan that has been agreed upon between the two. This impacts the Major League Baseball far beyond this season, as the current collective bargaining agreement expires following the 2021 season, and we will be right back where we are now when that happens. This means that not only is the 2020 season in jeopardy, but so is the 2022 season. This would be absolutely horrible for the Yankees, as many of their young stars' rookie contracts will be expiring. Not only are rookie contracts expiring, but so are the contracts of their stars, like Eric Cole, who could potentially lose 2 years of his 9-year contract due to these negotiations. This would be absolutely horrible for the Yankees, as they would have undoubtedly had one of the best teams, if not the best team, in each of these 2 years. If the 2020 season and 2022 seasons get canceled, Yankee players and fans alike will be left wondering what could have been. So let's say simply, for the point of discussion, that the 2020 season and 2021 seasons both get canceled. Here is how the Yankees would be impacted. Masahiro Tanaka, J. Happ, DJ LeMahieu, and James Paxton become free agents ahead of the 2021 season. Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Tommy Kahnle, Gio Urshela, Chad Green, Luis Cessa, Jordan Montgomery, and Jonathan Holder enter arbitration entering the 2021 season. Aroldis Chapman, Zach Britton, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, and Chad Green become free agents ahead of the 2023 season. That being said, there is a lot at stake for the Yankees over the next 3 seasons, and if 2 of those 3 seasons get canceled due to negotiations, it would be absolutely horrific for the Bronx Bombers. The reason many believe the 2022 season will be canceled is due to the fact that if the players and owners can't come to an agreement over one season, what makes you think they can come to an agreement over the next several? The owners want too much, and the players know their value, and there simply is no middle ground for a deal to be made. This being said, if there is no 2020 season, I wouldn't expect there to be a 2022 season. But if they do come to an agreement and play this year, I believe that would create hope for 2022. So there is a lot riding on this.
But I don't see why the next season would be in jeopardy because I'm pretty sure everybody's going to want to play, and a normal season contract would apply, at that time. So I don't see why they wouldn't want to play. But this
I
year,
guess
yeah, man, it's a done deal. I guess it's horrible.
I guess they would have some bad bloods during negotiations, and who knows what the owners would try to do as far as putting salary caps in or doing things like that. So this article said that he's worried about them also losing this year, and the players that become arbitration eligible or become free agents. This was the year. I mean, remember you and I in around Christmas time were saying this was the year the Yankees were going to the World Series, and then this horrible pandemic happened instead.
Yeah, I know. What are you gonna do? You know,
You know,
I guess they should just cancel the season then if they don't want to play.
well, I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope, and we'll see. They're coming to another. The players are coming back with a proposal themselves, probably tomorrow. So as of right now, a lot of people are down in the dumps. But I can see things still working out. It would be too big of a black eye for Major League Baseball to lose this
Yeah,
year. When so many people are depending on them, to come back and be an inspiration as this terrible pandemic is happening.
right, right. Like life is back to normal by playing baseball. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Oh,
that's
and
the
I do
way it
have some
always is.
information.
Go ahead,
There,
say it
there was a
again.
player. Do you
Say it again.
remember Esteban Loaiza? There was a player that was a pitcher on the Yankees in 2004 named
Yeah.
Esteban Loaiza. He was a pitcher. Well, he apparently led a very tough life. He spent part of the season with the Yankees and did not really do that well. And he finally finished up his baseball career in 2008, but he got heavily involved in cocaine and was heavily involved with cocaine. And he was just caught with $500,000 worth of cocaine in
Wow.
California. And he is now looking at 3 years in prison.
Wow. That's crazy, man. There's a lot
Yeah,
of baseball players that go from straight to left.
right.
Sucks, man. Yeah, I'm sad to hear that, man. I don't know what he did with his money. He probably had to have it his whole career or something like that.
Oh,
You
well, he
know?
also had a DUI, he lavished money on his family, and he blew through about $48 million. He blew through about $48 million, and also he had a wife, and he was divorcing her. She was a Hispanic pop singer or pop performer, and she tragically died in a 2012 plane crash. And then he really went downhill from there, and was recently caught
Oh,
with all of this cocaine in this apartment in California. And so he was doing some major dealing. He had $500,000 worth of cocaine, and he's now sitting in jail, facing up to 3 years in prison.
man, that sucks, man.
Esteban Loaiza, yeah, yeah, a very sad story about him.
Man,
And but we hope that the Yankees are still staying optimistic about it. I think the players are not the ones playing hardball. I think it's the owners, and I think the owners should open up their books and show their justification for cutting the big salaries of the major players.
Well, didn't every baseball club donate $1 million to the COVID-19 Release Foundation?
Yes, I believe so. I believe
So
so.
so where's the
Right,
rest of that money? They got money
right,
if they were able to do that, right? So
right, exactly.
I don't see what's the big deal, man. Sucks.
So how are we for some videos today?
Let's see, man, what we got. Um, really, we're gonna have to start buying probably some KBO jerseys now,
Oh
uh,
yeah, exactly.
because I guess baseball is not gonna happen. You know,
Well, I'm just saying we'll still have to
you gotta say it again. Say it again
see,
because you're breaking up.
one day looks like one thing,
Yeah,
and the next day we can be optimistic.
yeah, man. Running through some stories and off of ESPN real quick. Uh, Something you may did not know: the Baseball Hall of Famer who runs a funeral home, Andre Dawson. Ain't that
Oh
something?
yes, I know Andre Dawson. Yeah.
Yeah, I got his autograph, man. In I met him, I think, in the 2009 All Star game with the Mets. The Mets All Star
Hmm.
game. I think I met him at that one. I got his autograph on a All Star game ball.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I think it was that year. That year, I got it was the 2000 Mets Fan Fest, and I got every great Met that you can imagine: Jesse Orosco, Darryl Strawberry, um, Howard Johnson, Kevin McReynolds, um,
Wow.
Doc Gooden. The only one I don't have is Mike Piazza.
Yes, and I remember when you met Doc Gooden at Yankee Stadium, and you had a bit of a conversation with him.
Yeah, Doc Gooden, man. I got a few autographs of him, man. I got the picture of him when he hit that no hitter, hit the no pitched the no hitter
In
with
'96. Yeah.
Girardi and him, and he's holding him up in the air like that. Um,
Right.
I got that picture autographed by Doc Gooden. All I'm missing there is Girardi to sign the bottom of that. And I got Joe
Oh
Girardi's
wow.
autograph too. I got a signed picture of Girardi too, a nice one that I got at the MLB clubhouse. That was in 2015. They had a group of fans where they sit uh, at this like clubhouse type of thing where they watch every single baseball game every day until the season's over.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. MLB Network was doing that.
Yeah, it's some MLB clubhouse or something like that. You know,
That's incredible. I'm not even sure I could do that.
but they have not. They don't have really too many stories going on. It's basically the same news that we just all spoke about.
Oh,
That
okay.
the Major League Baseball Players Association plans to send a proposal with economic items to MLB by the end of the week, and that was 18 hours ago. So by the end of the week, sources familiar with the decision told ESPN, as Matt Sergio tweeted, the players do not plan to make the salary concession. So there you have it. We're gonna find out maybe, but I don't understand what does that mean. End of the week. That was 18 hours ago. Maybe by the end of today, but there's still
Yeah, by
maybe.
today or tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday.
That's right. Tomorrow's Friday, so maybe by tomorrow we'll hear something. Friday, uh, May 29th.
Right, right. So I guess we'll pretty much cover another show by Monday or Tuesday at this point because we've pretty much covered everything we can for now.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess we'll keep the show there, And I want to thank everybody for listening and watching, and Hopefully you can support it and hit the like button if you listen to this so far, and you know, hit some comments on the bottom of the videos and say what you like and don't like, and we'll talk to everybody on the next chat. So so long everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. You want to say anything before we go?
Oh, yes. Well, yeah. I want to say rest in peace to that poor man who was killed by police officers in Minneapolis. What a horrible story that was, and I feel very badly for his family, and
Yeah, me too.
just a very terrible story. But anyway, we'll get back on to the shows at the beginning of next week. Take care.
Yeah, condolences to everybody. See you on the next one. So long, everybody.